மறக்காம சர்ப்ரைஸ் பண்ணுங்க. Thank you.
There's not the slightest doubt in my mind that many master players are turning to the Alekhine as a winning weapon in this early part of 2011. And just to demonstrate that this is the case one more time, I want to feature a game from the British Professional Chess League, the 4NCL, played in January 2011 between the very strong international master Adam Hunt and Grandmaster Daniel Gormally, who is a very practical player. And despite the fact Gormally plays Bishop G4 here, which is not exactly my recommendation against Knight F3, we'll see that actually it transposes more or less back into an exchange variation when after C4, Knight B6, C takes D6 is answered by E takes D6 is answered by C takes D6. Now this may not be part of our repertoire, but the way Gormally plays this is very instructive and very thematic for all Alekhine fans. As White does everything by the book, I mean, he just brings his pieces out in apple pie order. The pawn comes to B3 to reinforce C4, then the bishop comes to E3, and now in a position like this, Black has to start thinking about his knight on B6. That knight cannot linger there for very long, or it's just going to be out of the game. So D5 is a thematic move. Now with the pressure on C4 mounting, White usually plays C5 and organises the queenside pawn storm with the help of moves like Rook B1. I mean, this is all well-known stuff. It's been around for a long time. Gormally played Bishop F6, not only to put pressure on D4, but to create a square for the knight. He wants to redirect this knight on C8 to a far more effective location on F5, when the pressure against D4 is ratcheted up one more time. White goes B4, and Larson taught us that Black should play A6 in this position. So that when White plays B5, as he does very shortly, Black gets to open A file for his rook as an extra option. And you'll see that Gormally, in the subsequent course of this game, uses this option very effectively indeed. Well, Black put his knight on A5, and White played knight A4. Bishop takes F3, bishop takes F3. Very good by Black. He gets a square for the knight on C4. Now, I suppose White could have tried to dissuade Black from playing knight C4 by taking with the pawn, but in every respect, that is an absolutely disgusting move. White's king side is fractured, and he just encourages Black to start unravelling with knight F5. It's not inconceivable that knight could come to H4 and White could be mated quickly in a position like this. So bishop takes F3 is more or less forced, but it lets the knight into a beautiful square on C4. Hunt wants rid of that knight, but Gormally seizes the opportunity to remove the bishop, and now with opposite colour bishops on the board, the initiative is the most important thing, hence a direct attack with bishop G5. And it's an attack which actually Hunt finds really difficult to deal with. He can't play Rook B3 because the knight on A4 will be hanging. So he's down to Rook F3, and now Black plays knight F5, increasing the pressure one more time. If King F2 is White's best, and it probably is because there's no other way to defend D3 other than with an overloaded queen. If King F2 is White's best, I really don't believe his position. And Gormally finds an excellent way to exploit White's oddly placed pieces. He goes Queen F6 check. King G1. Well, I mean, if Hunt could see what was coming, he might have played Bishop F3. But King G1 is answered by the splendid move, Rook takes A4. This is a tactic which White had clearly overlooked. And now Queen G6. Sets up a killer attack on the Rook and an equally deadly attack on G2. The threat is Bishop takes E3 check, the direct threat, followed by Queen takes G2 mate. And surprisingly, there's absolutely no way for poor Hunt to get out of this. So, there we are. Another quick win for the Alekhine in 26 moves.
மறக்காம சர்ப்ரைஸ் பண்ணுங்க. தேங்க்யூ.